Hey Wyatt, real welcome to ETH Denver. So excited to have you here. It's been an incredible journey that you have had with ICP since 2021. I remember you are one of the first projects, the OG projects on IC, that have been kind of building on amazing things on ICP. What is the latest and greatest on your side? What are you planning to do now?
Yeah, so most currently, actually, Kinic AI is very focused on building a vector database that runs completely on blockchain. And this is significant because you can actually have your own data store that can be used to augment your own LLM. So you can imagine your own personal emails or company documents that you can use in a reg type of fashion to have influence LLM and modify LLM without having to copy paste, and especially potentially exposing private data to an LLM interface. So this vector database will run 100% on-chain on the IC. And with this, you can have some very cool composability traits that I think we can talk about a little bit later.
What's the biggest use cases that you envision people for this Kinect plugin?
Yeah, so for the Kinic Chrome extension, what you can basically do is you can click a button on any web page. So a very easy example is actually bookmarks. You might have hundreds of bookmarks that you just completely forget about, as you might want to query later on, like, hey, I remember reading this really cool blog post. I want to query some idea about that. And rather than looking through all of these hundreds of bookmarks, you can use the Chrome extension and basically ask questions directly to an AI about this plugin that you might have forgot about. Or emails. Once again, you can have thousands of emails. I know I have 10,000 plus in my inbox, and you can forget certain things. And rather than being awkward, like, "Hey, Lamesh, I forget your birthday. What's your birthday, sir?" I can actually just query and find this old email via an LLM interface. And with models becoming smaller and smaller, there's a bunch of cool things you can do with composability. With the models running directly in your browser, or even potentially on a blockchain soon. So with that, you can have composability layers as well with AI and the Spectre database that we're building.
So people, when they think about like basically their personal email and so on, the biggest thing they're concerned about the privacy of their data. How do you solve for that?
Yeah. So the truth of the matter is, if you have it in your own control in a candidate or smart contract, you can delete data whenever you want. You have this data as your own data, essentially. And if the model itself is also running in your browser, you're never giving any private data to any third party. With the IC, there's also something called vet keys that will allow you to control privacy as well. So there's a few different factors that we use. We also use zero-knowledge proofs for privacy, but there's a few different things we're adding together in kind of a novel system to get this privacy out. We love things that run on device, like models that run on device, CKPs that run on device. And we love things that run on chain that are tamper-proof. And I think this is also important for AI agents. That's kind of a trending topic. If you have an AI agent workflow and one is hackable, you basically have a honeypot for hackers to come in and steal your private data or even trigger smart contracts on your behalf. We think this tamper-proof nature with the IC is extremely important.
Oh yeah, that would be absolutely insane if somebody have access to my personal data. I mean, like there's like absolutely no.
Yeah.
Super. And so you are at ETH Denver. What is the big motivation to be here? What are you most excited about?
I am a technical founder, so I'm not really here for the hype most of the time. I go to technical events and talk a lot with my peers who are other founders. And then we have some marketing going on as well. Obviously, we want to get Kinic's name out there. We're releasing a Chrome extension within a few weeks. And if no one knows about it, it doesn't even matter if we release it, right? So we're here kind of talking with people, introducing our stuff, introducing technology to technical people, speaking with a few VCs and a few cool other people that we know in terms of the AI space more generally. But those are generally our goals.
And so one of the big themes, obviously at this event as well, is like everyone is talking about decentralized AI. What's your beyond Kinic? What's your real vision for what's happening in the space? What are you most excited about?
One thing I would point out is a lot of the projects you're doing decentralized AI are actually using something called TEE, so trusted execution environments, and these are hardware-based security. And if you imagine any system coming out that actually does accrue value, say it has $400 million plus, you can imagine some bad actors messing with the hardware and potentially stealing the information or the data or breaking the blockchain altogether. So most of the projects, for efficiency's sake and getting go to market fast, they're using TEs, but I don't think that's a long game anyway. I think they will eventually have to move off and maybe use some other cool cryptography and blockchains to handle the issues that they're dealing with. So speaking to most of the projects, they are doing this TE type of trick, hopefully convincing them to use other cooler technologies. One of the cool facts about this too is that most TE type projects actually don't fit in blockchains, is the attestation proofs are very long for them. So there's a few other things like that that I'm not so bullish on.
Mhm.
And I think introducing some of the technologies that I am bullish on, like ZKP for running locally, or the IC for tamper-proof this in an L1 type setting, are extremely important to let people know about.
So you're also on the ZK side of things. You're also working on NovaNet. You want to kind of cover that in a couple of minutes?
Yeah, the IC runs on WASM, and actually Jordan from a few years back said, hey, it'd be really cool if we had a ZK-WASM implementation, and we kind of jumped into making the state-of-the-art ZK-WASM implementation. We run on something called folding scheme, which are very memory efficient. When you hear ZK, most of the time it's about scaling Ethereum. So they're gigantic provers, 128 gigabytes, and they can't be used for privacy, and they can't be used on your phone or in your browser. We don't care about scaling Ethereum. Like, it's not our thing whatsoever. We want this prover to be tiny. We want it to run on your phone or in your browser. So we really focus building our ZK VM and our ZKP expertise with this memory efficiency. And we can use this in Kinic for a few very cool traits, like proving local gradient boosting or like prediction algorithms, and then posting that onto an L1 to trigger other agents. So you can imagine these workflows with ZKP and L1s working together with LLM, get these off-chain and on-chain events with verifiability, which I think is kind of the next wave of where these agents will be going. And with verifiability, once again, they'll be tamper-proof and hack-proof as well. So that's what we're doing in terms of ZK.
I'm not sure if you've seen it, but DFINITY released their roadmap, a new roadmap. So is there something in particular that you are really excited about in the roadmap?
Yeah, actually, some recent work on the WASM 64 type work. We can have a bunch of models right now that don't fit exactly, but they're models in general. There's major companies like Google and Microsoft making these models smaller and smaller so they can get them on your devices, like on your phones. Apple is also working on some as well. And with this WASM 64 upgrade, we can actually get these models directly to run on the IC. And then with that, we have potentially users going, hey, I'm going to spin up this one model that I want to do this one thing. And then they can all collaborate together to make streams of AI agents that do very unique and novel things. And that's something I'm excited for. Just with that one upgrade, we'll be able to do things that were previously completely impossible on any other blockchain. So
super. It's a pleasure seeing you here, and looking forward to working more with you.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.